The night sky above the city of Valeria was unusually clear. Stars twinkled like tiny diamonds, and the gentle hum of the city below seemed almost peaceful. But this night would not remain peaceful for long. A streak of shimmering light cut across the sky, moving faster than any aircraft or satellite. It landed in a quiet park on the outskirts of the city, leaving behind a faint glow. From the center of the glow, a figure emerged. She was unlike anything anyone on Earth had seen. Her skin shimmered in soft shades of silver and blue, catching the light as if she were made of starlight. Her eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the constellations above. Her hair was long, flowing like liquid silver, and her movements were graceful, almost floating above the ground. Children who had been playing in the park stopped mid-laugh and stared. Birds scattered into the night sky. Even the few adults nearby froze in astonishment. Whispers spread quickly. Is that a person or something else? The alien girl, who would later come to be called Lyra, looked around curiously. Her large, luminous eyes studied everything: the trees, the lampposts, the city skyline, and the people. She seemed calm, almost serene, as if she expected this to be her first experience on a strange new world. At first, a few teenagers nearby began pointing at her. "Look at that thing!" one of them shouted, laughing. "What is she wearing? And those eyes!" Another chimed in. "She looks like a fairy or something." Lyra turned her head slightly, tilting it in curiosity. The laughter hurt her feelings, but she didn't show it. Instead, she observed quietly, trying to understand these strange creatures who called themselves humans. She noticed their gestures, their expressions, their voices, all chaotic and full of emotion. Word spread quickly through the city. Social media lit up with pictures and videos of Lyra. Memes appeared almost instantly, mocking her appearance and strange mannerisms. Humans were fascinated by her, but in the wrong way. They did not see intelligence or curiosity. They saw something different, something they could laugh at. Despite the mockery, Lyra did not retreat. She took slow, careful steps toward the city, her eyes scanning for something she could understand. She had been sent here to learn, to observe, and to explore, and no amount of ridicule would stop her mission. In a quiet laboratory not far from the park, a young scientist named Dr. B. Aaron watched the news coverage with a mixture of surprise and concern. He had dedicated his life to studying extraterrestrial life, and now, for the first time, he saw one in person. But more importantly, he noticed something others did not: Lyra's intelligence and awareness. "She's observing," Dr. Aaron muttered to himself. "She's not scared. She's studying us." He quickly gathered his equipment and rushed toward the park. As he approached, he could see the subtle gestures Lyra made, her eyes following the movement of the children, her fingers brushing against the tips of leaves as if she wanted to feel the world. She was not just an alien. She was a learner, a seeker. Meanwhile, the teasing did not stop. A group of teenagers decided to get closer. "Hey, can you talk?" one of them shouted. Lyra turned her glowing eyes toward them. A faint musical hum escaped her lips, and the sound was unlike anything they had heard. It was soft, almost like a song, yet it carried words they could not understand. "Whoa, she's singing?" another teenager said, more intrigued than mocking now. But their laughter quickly returned. "Yeah, creepy singing," someone added. Lyra stopped singing. She tilted her head, trying to understand why these creatures reacted the way they did. She had expected curiosity, perhaps even friendliness. Mockery was confusing. Dr. Aaron finally reached her, holding his hands up to show he meant no harm. "It's okay," he said softly. "You're safe here. I want to help you understand them." Lyra's eyes brightened slightly. For the first time, Someone approached her without fear or laughter. She took a cautious step closer, and Dr. Aaron noticed how delicate her movements were, like she was stepping on air. "You're different," he said, whispering more to himself than to her. "But there's something extraordinary about you." The two began walking together quietly, leaving the park behind. Lyra observed everything: the cars, the streetlights, the small signs of human life that seemed ordinary to others, but fascinating to her. Every object had meaning, every gesture told a story. As they moved, more people noticed her. Some ran to get a better look, cameras in hand. Others continued to mock, pointing and laughing. Lyra could feel the energy around her, the mix of fear, amusement, and curiosity. It was overwhelming, but she remained composed, letting Dr. Aaron guide her through the chaos. By the time they reached Dr. Aaron's laboratory, Lyra had seen enough of human society to understand one thing: humans were unpredictable, emotional, and often cruel. But they were also creative and full of potential. This would be her first lesson about the people she had come to study. In the lab, Dr. Aaron offered her a place to rest and tools to help her communicate better. Lyra studied the devices with interest, her fingers gliding over them as if she could sense how they worked without needing instructions. Dr. Aaron watched in awe. "You're learning fast," he said, "and you're very perceptive. You see more than most humans do." Lyra looked at him and gave a small nod, a gesture she had learned from observing people. Her eyes reflected the soft glow of the lab lights, a mixture of wonder and curiosity. For the first time since she arrived, she allowed herself a small smile. The mockery of the outside world had not broken her spirit. Instead, it had strengthened her resolve. She had come to learn, and no amount of laughter would change her mission. That night, as the city slept, Lyra gazed out of the laboratory window at the twinkling stars above. She could see worlds far beyond Earth, vast and endless, and she wondered what humans would be like if they knew the secrets of the universe. And in that quiet moment, she made a silent promise. She would understand Earth, not just as an outsider, but as someone who might one day help it reach its true potential. Little did she know, the journey ahead would challenge everything she thought she knew, not just about humans, but about herself. The next morning, sunlight spilled into the laboratory, painting the walls with warm gold and soft shadows. Lyra sat quietly on a smooth metallic bench, her silver-blue hair glinting in the early light. She watched Dr. Aaron move around the lab with careful precision, handling instruments and screens with skill. Dr. Aaron had decided to let her explore the lab on her own while he worked. He wanted to see how much she could understand without instructions. Lyra's large, glowing eyes scanned every device, every screen, every tool. Her fingers touched the surfaces lightly, tracing shapes and lines as if reading a language only she could understand. "You're very curious," Dr. Aaron said, smiling. "That's a good thing. Curiosity is how humans grow, how civilizations grow, and I think you might learn faster than any human I've ever known." Lyra tilted her head slightly, considering his words. She had already noticed that humans were unpredictable. They made mistakes, yet they also made incredible inventions, stories, and music. Their emotions were messy, but somehow that messiness made them creative. She wanted to learn more, not just about their tools, but about their minds. Over the next few days, Lyra wandered the city under Dr. Aaron's guidance. She observed everything carefully: how people spoke, how they moved, how they reacted to one another. She saw kindness, but also selfishness. She saw bravery, but also fear. And she began to understand that humans were not simple creatures. They were complex, layered, and full of contradictions. Children were her favorite to watch. They laughed freely, asked endless questions, and showed curiosity without fear of being mocked. Lyra found herself mimicking some of their gestures, small smiles, nods, and gestures with her hands that made the children giggle. The laughter this time did not sting her. It was warm and genuine, a sound that lifted her spirits. Dr. Aaron began teaching Lyra simple human communication techniques. At first it was gestures, expressions, and common words. Lyra picked them up quickly, repeating them with a soft musical hum. She struggled with some words, but her intelligence allowed her to connect meaning with sound very quickly. "You're learning faster than I imagined," Dr. Aaron said one evening as they reviewed data on a computer screen. "Most humans take years to master what you are learning in days." Lyra's glowing eyes reflected the soft screen light. She nodded, her expression serious. "I must understand. I must see all of Earth," she said in her slightly melodic voice. Dr. Aaron smiled. "You will. But learning takes time. You cannot rush it. And some things humans keep hidden, even from themselves." Lyra's curiosity deepened. Hidden? What could humans possibly hide? She had already noticed strange behaviors, unexplained phenomena, and even some areas of the city that seemed off-limits. She wanted to explore more. One evening, when the lab was quiet, she slipped out quietly, leaving Dr. Aaron working at his computer. She moved through the city silently, her glowing eyes observing everything with precision. She noticed a large, secure facility on the outskirts of Valeria, surrounded by high walls and strange machines that hummed with energy. Her heart, though she did not fully understand the human term, felt a flutter of excitement. This place felt important. She could sense it, as if the building itself was alive with knowledge and secrets. For several nights, Lyra returned, watching from a distance. She learned the schedules of the humans entering and leaving, the patterns of lights, and the strange vibrations beneath the ground. She realized that this was no ordinary human building. Something extraordinary was hidden here, something humans did not want outsiders to see. Meanwhile, Dr. Aaron had noticed her absences. He confronted her gently one night in the lab. "You went out alone," he said softly, trying not to sound angry. "It's dangerous. You could be caught, or worse, harmed by people who do not understand you." Lyra looked at him with her glowing eyes, unafraid. "I need to see," she replied simply. "There is knowledge here, something humans hide. I feel it." Dr. Aaron hesitated, then nodded. "I see. You have a strong will and a wise mind. If you want to explore, we must be careful. Some secrets are not meant for everyone yet." And so, they devised a plan. Dr. Aaron would guide Lyra in small steps, helping her understand human security systems, coding, and patterns, without actually breaking any laws. Lyra's alien senses made the learning almost effortless. She absorbed everything, every detail, every logic, every rhythm of the human world. As they worked together, Lyra began to notice something else. Humans were not as weak as they seemed. Even with mistakes and chaos, they had built civilizations, technologies, and defenses that were quietly powerful. The more she observed, the more she realized that humans had potential far beyond what others, or even they themselves, could imagine. One night, Lyra finally spoke a question that had been on her mind for days. "Dr. Aaron, why do humans hide this? Why do they pretend to be ordinary?" Dr. Aaron paused, considering. "Some things are dangerous," he said carefully. "Some knowledge is a test. Humans, well, they are learning, they are growing, and some secrets are waiting for the right time to be revealed." Lyra pondered his words. She had encountered many civilizations across the stars, but Earth was different. The humans were small, fragile, and often messy, but their potential was enormous. Somehow she could feel that this planet held something extraordinary, a power or wisdom that even humans did not fully understand yet. Curiosity became obsession. Lyra spent hours at the lab reading human history, science, and literature. She learned about their struggles, triumphs, and mistakes. She discovered patterns in human innovation, logic hidden in their chaos, and creativity in the simplest acts. One evening, as she studied maps of underground networks and energy lines, Lyra noticed something strange. A faint pattern emerged, like a web beneath the earth. Lines of energy, old and powerful, converged at a single point. A place that humans had built structures over but did not openly discuss. She felt a shiver, a sensation she had not felt before. The energy was not threatening, but it was overwhelming in its intensity. It was alive in a way, waiting, as if it had been dormant for centuries. Lyra realized then that humans were hiding something incredible, something that could change the understanding of life itself. Dr. Aaron noticed her reaction. "What is it?" he asked softly. Lyra's voice was quiet, almost trembling. "It is powerful, greater than anything I have seen on Earth. Humans guard it. But why?" Dr. Aaron shook his head. "I don't know everything about it," he admitted. "Even humans in charge of this facility only understand pieces. It is a secret. And maybe it is a test." Lyra's eyes glowed brighter in the dim light of the lab. She realized that this discovery was only the beginning. Earth was not weak. It had hidden strengths, waiting for someone, or something, to understand it. Over the following days, Lyra and Dr. Aaron worked to study the energy patterns, without drawing attention. Lyra's alien senses allowed her to detect things humans could not. She noticed vibrations in the ground, fluctuations in electromagnetic fields, and subtle signs of ancient mechanisms buried deep beneath the Earth's surface. Through it all, Lyra began to see humans differently. They were not merely chaotic or weak, they were cautious, intelligent, and patient. Their humor, creativity, and even their mockery were part of a larger pattern, a balance between curiosity and caution. And as she observed, she began to grow fond of them, not just as a scientist observes a specimen, but as a traveler respects the people of a world she hopes to protect. The more she learned, the more she understood why humans had mocked her at first. They could not yet see beyond appearances, and she was not like anything they had ever encountered. But she knew she could help them, and perhaps one day they would help her understand the full secret of this world. As night fell again over Valeria, Lyra stood by the window of the lab, looking out at the city lights. The world seemed quiet, ordinary, but she knew better now. Beneath the streets, beneath the buildings, Earth held mysteries that could change the galaxy, and she had only begun to scratch the surface. Her glowing eyes reflected the distant stars, and for the first time she felt a sense of purpose. She had arrived as a stranger, mocked and misunderstood. But she would remain. She would learn. She would uncover the secrets that Earth had carefully hidden, and she would protect them, just as she had promised herself. The mockery of the outside world seemed distant now, almost trivial. Lyra understood that true power lay not in appearances, but in knowledge, patience, and courage. And with Dr. Aaron by her side, she was ready to take the next step into the heart of Earth's hidden strength. The night was colder than usual, with a faint mist curling over the quiet streets of Valeria. Lyra moved silently beside Dr. Aaron, her glowing eyes scanning every shadow. Tonight was different. Tonight, she would see the truth that humans had kept hidden for centuries. Dr. Aaron had finally agreed to take her closer to the source of the energy patterns she had noticed. It was risky, but he trusted her intelligence and judgment. "We must be careful," he said, adjusting the straps of his equipment bag. "This place is restricted. Humans guard it for a reason. Lyra nodded, her expression serious. She did not need fear. She only needed knowledge. Every step toward the facility made her pulse, though not in the human sense, quicken. She could feel the hum of energy beneath the ground, faint but growing stronger. As they approached the facility, the walls loomed tall and cold. Security cameras rotated slowly, sensing motion. Lyra observed them with fascination. Humans had created complex systems to protect secrets, yet she could sense the weaknesses in the logic of their design. Dr. Aaron whispered, "We only need to observe for now. Don't touch anything yet." Lyra agreed. Her senses extended beyond human perception, detecting vibrations and faint energy currents flowing beneath the facility. She could see hidden conduits, underground chambers, and glowing nodes that pulsed rhythmically. It was unlike anything she had seen before. Suddenly, she stopped. Her eyes widened as she realized the magnitude of what lay before her. Beneath the earth, concealed by layers of stone and steel, was a network of energy so vast, so ancient, that it seemed almost alive. Streams of power moved through channels like rivers, converging at a single immense core at the very center. This is incredible," Lyra whispered. Her voice was soft, melodic, almost trembling with awe. "Humans, they hide this." "Why?" Dr. Aaron shook his head. "Even I don't know everything. This energy, it's older than recorded history. Humans guard it because they are not ready. Or perhaps they are waiting for the right time. It's a secret of the Earth itself." Lyra's mind raced. Across the galaxy, she had seen civilizations rise and fall. Empires had relied on power sources, sometimes artificial, sometimes natural. But nothing compared to this. The energy seemed sentient in a way, responsive, aware, waiting. Her body trembled slightly, not with fear, but with the sheer magnitude of the discovery. Her pale blue skin glimmered in the faint light from the energy conduits. She had come to Earth curious, ready to study humans, and now she realized they were far more extraordinary than she had imagined. Dr. Aaron guided her to a safe observation point, a small glass-enclosed room with a direct view of the underground chambers. "Look carefully," he said. "This is Earth's true strength. Humans have survived for so long not because they are the strongest, but because they protect this secret." Lyra's eyes focused on the core. It pulsed with a rhythm that seemed to match the heartbeat of the planet itself. Tiny streams of light traveled outward from it, connecting to different regions and cities across the world. It was as if the planet had a nervous system, a hidden network of life and energy. She could hardly believe it. This is alive," she said. "It breathes, in a way. And humans, they are its guardians." Dr. Aaron nodded. "Yes, and that is why they appear ordinary. Most humans do not know the full scope of this energy. They only know parts, fragments of a much larger puzzle. But even fragments are enough to keep the world safe." Lyra felt her glow dim slightly, a human-like pallor washing over her. The realization hit her hard. All this time she had thought humans were weak, chaotic, and simple. Yet they had hidden a force that could rival anything she had seen in the galaxy. They were not to be underestimated. She stepped closer to the glass, pressing her hands against the smooth surface. Streams of light reflected in her glowing eyes. Her thoughts raced faster than she could speak. "They've kept this hidden. From me. From everyone. And yet, they survived. They thrived. How?" Dr. Aaron placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Because humans are patient, adaptable, and cautious. They value knowledge, yes, but more importantly, they value responsibility. Power is dangerous. Only those who understand responsibility can wield it safely." Lyra nodded slowly. She understood responsibility in her own way, but this was beyond anything she had encountered. She could feel the weight of the planet itself, as if Earth were a living entity with humans as its careful stewards. Over the next several nights, Lyra returned to the observation point with Dr. Aaron. She watched as energy flowed through the underground network, lighting small cities in precise patterns, powering research facilities, and even subtly influencing the environment above ground. The system was ancient, but it had been maintained with care. One night, as the energy pulsed brightly, Lyra noticed something unusual. A small section of the network seemed unstable, flickering faintly. Curious, she focused her senses on it. She detected what she could only describe as a memory, a record left in the energy by humans long ago. It was a message, a warning, and an instruction all in one. Dr. Aaron noticed her intense concentration. "What is it?" he asked quietly. Lyra shook her head slowly, her expression pale. "It is a message from humans of the past. They knew this energy could be dangerous. They left instructions for the future, for those who are ready." Her melodic voice was barely audible, trembling with awe. She realized that the humans had not only guarded the energy, but had planned for generations to ensure it would remain safe. They had anticipated threats, mistakes, and even outsiders like herself. "This is beyond anything I imagined," Lyra said. "Humans, they are stronger than they seem. They are extraordinary." Dr. Aaron nodded solemnly. "That's the truth. Earth has always been underestimated. Most civilizations in the galaxy think humans are primitive, but in reality, we are guardians of something ancient and powerful, something even we do not fully understand." For the first time, Lyra felt something she had not felt since arriving: humility. She had traveled across stars, seen incredible technology, and met countless species, but none had prepared her for the realization that humans, the very beings who had mocked her, were capable of such wisdom and restraint. Her pale glow seemed to deepen, reflecting the astonishment she felt. She had arrived as an outsider, laughed at, and misunderstood. Now she understood that humans were not ordinary. They were custodians of a hidden strength, and their mockery had been only a surface layer over something much deeper. In the following days, Lyra began to adjust her approach to learning. She no longer focused solely on human behavior above ground. She studied the hidden systems, the energy conduits, and the subtle signals humans used to protect their secrets. She realized that Earth's strength lay not in weapons or armies, but in knowledge, responsibility, and patience. One evening, as she and Dr. Aaron watched the core pulse softly beneath the ground, Lyra spoke quietly. "I came to observe humans. I thought I would teach them, maybe even correct them. But now, I see that they have much to teach me. They are not weak. They are remarkable." Dr. Aaron smiled. "And that, Lyra, is why I chose to help you. You came as a stranger, but you are beginning to see what humans are truly capable of. And when the time comes, you may help them reach even greater heights." Lyra's glowing eyes reflected the faint pulse of the energy below. She understood now that Earth held a secret that could change the galaxy, and humans were ready to guard it. She had arrived mocked, laughed at, and underestimated, but she would leave with a new understanding. The realization left her pale in the soft light of the laboratory, a silent testament to the awe and respect she now felt. The journey ahead would not be easy, but she knew one thing with certainty: humans were extraordinary, and Earth's hidden strength was far greater than anyone could imagine. And for the first time, Lyra felt a sense of belonging, not just as an observer, but as someone who might one day play a part in protecting this incredible secret alongside humans. After the night of discovery, Lyra could not sleep. She sat by the lab window, staring at the city lights below, her silver-blue hair glimmering faintly in the moonlight. The hidden energy beneath the earth had left her pale with awe. She had come to observe humans expecting to learn from them, maybe even correct them. Instead, she had discovered that humans were far stronger, wiser, and more patient than she had imagined. Dr. Aaron entered the lab quietly. "You're awake," he said softly. "Thinking about the energy again?" Lyra nodded. "Yes. I did not realize humans could be this responsible, this extraordinary." Her voice, soft and melodic, carried a mix of wonder and respect. Dr. Aaron smiled. "Now you see what I mean. Humans are capable of great things. Sometimes we just hide it behind ordinary appearances. That is our way of surviving, of protecting what is precious." For the next few days, Lyra focused on learning not just from books or observations, but by interacting with humans in small, careful ways. She accompanied Dr. Aaron to the university, where he taught students about science and innovation. At first, the students were startled by her presence. They whispered, pointed, and some even laughed. But Lyra did not react with fear or anger. She simply observed, her glowing eyes calm, her posture gentle. One curious student approached her. "Are you real?" he asked, wide-eyed. "I mean, are you really from somewhere else?" Lyra smiled faintly. "Yes, I come from far away, but I wish to learn about your world." Her voice was melodic, soothing, and the student felt a strange sense of calm. Slowly, the laughter and mockery began to fade. Students who initially mocked her started noticing her intelligence. Lyra solved complex mathematical problems on the board with a soft hum. She explained the patterns she had noticed in the energy flows beneath the Earth. Her alien perspective revealed solutions and insights humans had not considered. Word spread across the university. Professors and researchers became intrigued. They invited her to share her observations and perspectives. Even those who had mocked her initially were now respectful, fascinated by her wisdom. Lyra had not changed. She was the same being they had laughed at, but her knowledge and insight earned her respect in a way that no words or appearances ever could. One day, Dr. Aaron took Lyra to a government research facility that was studying energy systems. Humans here had long known of small anomalies, but they had never connected them fully to the ancient energy network she had discovered. Lyra guided them carefully, explaining what she had learned from her observations. Her melodic voice, combined with precise gestures, made complex concepts clear. The scientists were amazed. "You understand this better than we ever could," one of them admitted. How is this possible?" Lyra tilted her head, her glowing eyes soft. "I observe. I learn. Your energy is ancient and it is beautiful. Humans, you protect it well. I respect that." Her respect for humans was evident, and it inspired a similar respect in return. No one mocked her now. They treated her as a teacher, a guide, and even a friend. Lyra realized that respect was not demanded. It was earned through understanding, wisdom, and integrity. She had learned this the hard way, after being laughed at, mocked, and underestimated. In the following days, Lyra and Dr. Aaron worked together to create a safe system to study the energy network without disturbing it. Lyra's alien abilities allowed her to detect subtle shifts in energy, while Dr. Aaron and the human scientists applied their technical knowledge to understand the patterns. Together they formed a team that combined the best of both worlds, human ingenuity and alien perception. Lyra's presence also began to change humans in subtle ways. She did not impose her knowledge or abilities, she simply shared them gently. Humans began to cooperate more effectively, communicate more openly, and take greater care in understanding the energy system. Lyra's calm and thoughtful demeanor inspired patience and cooperation, qualities that had been lacking before. One afternoon, as she worked with a group of students to map the energy flows, a small incident occurred. A piece of equipment malfunctioned, causing a minor disruption in the observation system. Humans around panicked slightly, but Lyra stepped forward, her hands glowing faintly as she carefully adjusted the energy flows. The malfunction was corrected quickly, without any harm or damage. The students gasped. "How did you do that?" one of them asked, amazed. Lyra smiled gently. "I observed. I understand the flow. You humans create patterns, and I can see them. Together, we can maintain balance." That moment marked a turning point. Humans no longer saw her as strange or alien. They saw her as someone who could help them, guide them, and work alongside them. Even those who had mocked her initially approached with curiosity and respect. As days passed, Lyra's confidence grew. She began to speak more openly about the energy network, teaching humans how to detect anomalies, maintain stability, and appreciate the hidden power beneath their feet. She shared stories of her own world, how civilizations across the stars handled energy and responsibility. Humans listened intently, absorbing every detail, asking questions, and learning from her perspective. Dr. Aaron watched her quietly, pride evident in his eyes. "You've changed things," he said softly. "Humans respect you now. They see your value, and you respect them. That is rare, even among beings from other worlds." Lyra nodded, her glowing eyes reflecting the soft light of the lab. "I have learned humans are remarkable, not because of strength or weapons, but because of wisdom, patience, and care. That is the true power of your world." Her words spread beyond the lab. Stories of the alien girl who had once been mocked, but now guided humans in understanding their hidden energy, reached the city. News outlets, previously mocking, now reported with fascination. Lyra became a symbol of knowledge and cooperation, a bridge between Earth and the wider galaxy. Even the children who had laughed at her in the park months ago now approached her without fear. They were curious, eager to learn, and inspired by her example. Lyra spent time with them, teaching them simple observations about nature, energy, and cooperation. Their laughter this time was warm and genuine, a reflection of mutual respect and understanding. One evening, as she and Dr. Aaron reviewed the latest data from the energy network, Lyra spoke quietly. "I understand now. Humans are not ordinary. They are guardians, protectors, and learners. They have hidden strength. I respect that, and I will help them." Dr. Aaron smiled, placing a hand on her shoulder. "And you will. Together we can ensure Earth's secret remains safe, and perhaps help humans grow even stronger." Lyra's eyes glowed softly, reflecting the rhythm of the energy below. She had arrived as a stranger, laughed at and mocked. She had faced misunderstanding and fear, but now she had found her place, among humans who respected her, learned from her, and worked alongside her. Her journey had taught her a valuable lesson. Respect is earned through knowledge, patience, and understanding. Power is not shown through appearances or loud displays, but through quiet guidance, cooperation, and care. Humans, she realized, had mastered these qualities in ways she had not anticipated. As night fell over Valeria, Lyra stood once again by the window of the lab. The city lights flickered below, ordinary to most eyes, yet brimming with hidden energy, creativity, and potential. She could feel the pulse of the planet, the rhythm of the energy network, and the growing strength of humans who were beginning to understand their responsibility. For the first time, Lyra felt truly at home. not because she belonged to Earth naturally, but because she had earned a place among its people. She was no longer an outsider. She was a guide, a learner, and a protector. And deep inside, she knew that the discoveries she had made, the lessons she had learned, and the respect she had earned would lead to something even greater, a future where humans could stand proudly among the stars, guardians of a secret more extraordinary than most could imagine. The sun rose slowly over Valeria, casting golden light over the city and the surrounding countryside. From the lab window, Lyra watched the world awake. The city seemed ordinary, yet she knew better. Beneath the streets, beneath the foundations of every building, Earth's hidden energy pulsed quietly, strong and ancient, ready to respond to those who understood it. Lyra had come a long way from the frightened alien who had been mocked in the park. She had discovered the incredible secret beneath the planet, and she had seen the strength, patience, and wisdom of humanity. Now she knew her mission had shifted. She was not merely an observer. She was a guardian, a guide, and a protector, alongside humans who were learning to respect the responsibilities that came with such power. Dr. Aaron entered the lab, carrying a tablet full of updated energy maps. "The network is stable," he said, smiling. "Your work with the students and scientists has made a difference. The system is safer than ever, and humans are beginning to understand it better." Lyra's glowing eyes followed the patterns on the tablet. Streams of energy traced paths across continents, connecting cities and research facilities, all converging at the ancient core deep beneath Earth's surface. It was magnificent, and it seemed alive, as if Earth itself acknowledged her presence. "They are ready," she said softly, almost to herself. "Humans are ready to protect this, to understand it, carefully, wisely." Dr. Aaron nodded. "Yes, but it will take time. Understanding comes slowly, and mistakes can happen. That is why you are here, to guide them, not just to observe." For weeks, Lyra worked tirelessly with humans. She trained them to read subtle energy signals, detect anomalies, and maintain balance in the system. Her alien perception allowed her to sense problems before they arose, and she guided humans to solutions with patience and clarity. She never shouted or demanded obedience. Instead, she shared knowledge gently, letting humans find confidence in their own abilities. One day, a group of children approached her in the lab. They had been following her lessons about energy patterns, observing her demonstrations, and asking countless questions. Their curiosity was bright and eager. "Can we see the core?" one of them asked, wide-eyed. "Can we help?" Lyra smiled gently. "The core is very powerful," she said, her voice soft and melodic. "It is not dangerous if handled carefully, but it is very important. Only those who are ready may go near it. But you can learn, and one day, you will help protect it too." The children nodded eagerly. They had once laughed at her, but now they looked up to her as a teacher and a guide. Lyra realized that respect was not simply about power. It was about knowledge, patience, and the willingness to care for others. As humans learned, Lyra began to understand something else. The energy network was more than just power. It was a connection, a rhythm that linked humans to Earth, and perhaps even to the universe itself. By maintaining it, they were participating in something much greater than themselves. And that was the true essence of responsibility. Dr. Aaron often observed her quietly, noting the way humans responded to her guidance. "You have changed them," he said one evening, "not because you are stronger or faster, but because you show them how to think, how to observe, and how to respect what is powerful. That is the essence of leadership." Lyra reflected on his words. She had arrived mocked, misunderstood, and underestimated. Yet now, humans listened to her. They trusted her knowledge, respected her wisdom, and worked alongside her. In return, she had learned to respect humans, not for appearances, but for their courage, patience, and intelligence. One quiet night, as she and Dr. Aaron observed the energy network, a soft vibration ran through the ground. The ancient core pulsed with increased intensity, sending tiny streams of light outward. Lyra's eyes widened. "Something is changing," she whispered. "The Earth, it is responding to us, to humans, to the care we are taking." Dr. Aaron nodded. "Yes, the system is alive in a way. It reacts to balance and harmony. It has waited a long time for humans to reach this level of understanding. And now, we are ready." Lyra felt a deep sense of satisfaction. This was not just about power, it was about guardianship, wisdom, and cooperation. Humans were finally learning the responsibilities they had once ignored. And she, once a stranger mocked and misunderstood, had helped them reach this stage. The following weeks saw more progress. Scientists across the world shared observations, connecting remote energy nodes safely and effectively. Lyra trained new generations of humans, teaching them to respect the network, understand its flows, and anticipate changes. Her presence inspired not fear, but awe and cooperation. One afternoon, a young researcher asked her a simple, heartfelt question. "Why did you stay here? Why help us?" Lyra paused. Her glowing eyes reflected the sunlight streaming through the lab window. "I came to learn," she said softly. "But I also came to understand. Humans are not ordinary. They are patient, brave, and wise when they choose to be. I could not leave. I wanted to help. And I wanted to learn alongside them." Her words carried a weight that resonated with everyone present. Humans were often proud of their achievements, but her perspective reminded them of their potential. Lyra's respect for them made them see themselves differently, not as small or weak, but as guardians of something extraordinary. One evening, Lyra and Dr. Aaron stood at the observation deck of the lab, looking at the city lights below. They could feel the faint hum of the energy network beneath their feet, alive and rhythmic. "Do you think humans are ready for what lies ahead?" Dr. Aaron asked. Lyra's glowing eyes reflected the pulse of the Earth. "Yes," she said quietly. "If they continue to learn, to care, and to respect, they will be ready. Earth has given them something powerful, and they are learning to honor it." Dr. Aaron smiled. "Then it is our responsibility to help guide them." "Yes," Lyra agreed. "Together, we will protect this secret, not for ourselves, but for the future, for Earth, and for the generations to come." In the following months, Lyra became a constant presence in human society. She did not seek recognition or praise. Her goal was knowledge, guidance, and protection. Humans, in turn, treated her with respect and trust, learning not only about the energy network, but also about patience, observation, and responsibility. Even the children, once laughing at her, now came to her for lessons and guidance. They were curious, eager, and inspired. Lyra taught them not only about energy, but also about cooperation, humility, and understanding. She showed them that true strength came from wisdom and care, not from displays of power. One quiet night, as she gazed at the stars above, Lyra reflected on her journey. She had arrived on Earth as a stranger, mocked and underestimated. She had discovered its secret, been pale with awe at its power, and learned to respect humans in ways she had never anticipated. Now, she stood not as an outsider, but as a guardian, one who would protect, guide, and inspire. The world around her seemed ordinary, but she knew better. Beneath every city, every street, and every building, Earth's hidden energy pulsed quietly, waiting, alive, and connected to those who respected it. And humans, guided by knowledge and care, were ready to embrace their role as guardians. Lyra smiled softly, her glow reflecting the stars. She had found her place, not just as an alien visitor, but as a protector and friend. The mockery and fear of the past seemed distant and meaningless. She had learned, she had guided, and together they had reached a new understanding. And as she stood there, watching the world below, Lyra knew one thing with certainty. Earth's secret would remain safe, not because of power alone, but because humans, guided by wisdom and care, had become worthy of it. The alien girl, once mocked and misunderstood, had found her purpose. She had found respect, friendship, and a mission greater than herself. And in that mission, she knew, lay the true strength of humanity, hidden, extraordinary, and ready to shine across the stars.